What's up everybody, this is Darksinne here, back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm. Welcome back! Today's game is going to be played between PandaTank, let's just get the game started first of all. PandaTank up at the top left hand side with his CM Storm clan tag taking up so much space in his name. But down to the bottom right hand side is going to be SaltTheWound from XMG, his name almost being, or well, actually being half cut off there because of his clan tag, or just because he's got a really long name. Oh man, but there we go, nice little bit of friendliness coming out from both players right now. With the GLHF, I've always wondered, you know, the mannerisms in StarCraft it's really good because people genuinely say good luck, have fun in these tournaments, except for some players who just GLHF because they sort of gotta have to. And I always wonder, you know, how much luck do you really wish to your opponent? I mean, do you wish that he has some luck in that it's a good game and that between the two of you there was quite a bit of struggle, but in the end you won? Is that really luck, or is that just poor luck? I'm not sure, but anyway, getting right into it, let's get that production tab up so you guys can see exactly when they're building their probes and their drones. So, the reason why I'm making this video is actually to promote PandaTank's appearance in the DreamHack Valencia. I actually had to read that because I forgot how to pronounce the word Valencia from the letters in my brain. But we do have PandaTank appearing in DreamHack Valencia, which is actually starting today, but the StarCraft tournament isn't happening until tomorrow, which starts at 12 o'clock. I say tomorrow, I should actually say the date because some people are not going to watch this video on the day that it gets released. So, it's going to be happening on Friday the 19th of July 2013, if people are watching this a year later. But yeah, PandaTank has qualified to move past the initial group stages and has progressed, I think, to the round of 32 players. So that means that he skips the initial group stages, which is, I mean, like if you have a look at them, they're full of a lot of new players. That's not saying that that PandaTank is not a new player in the European scene. Very few people know about him, but he has progressed a lot, especially since the last DreamHack summer tournament, which did him really good as well. He managed to make it out of the initial group stages, and then unfortunately he got put into the group of death, as they say. His group was just a freaking nightmare, man. Just Koreans and professional and long-time pros rather that he was up against. And yeah, so that's pretty interesting. But what I do want to say about the DreamHack Valencia game is that, or the DreamHack Valencia tournament, is that it's going to be for $9,240. I wrote that down because that's a freaking cool number. That is a lot of money, and I believe the prize pool is just ridiculous. I mean, like, getting any sort of placing in this tournament means that you are going to get a decent amount of money. So that's going to be interesting. But let's see if this game gets underway, because down at the bottom right hand side we do have a fairly early expansion and a pretty interesting scouting thing going on over there. We do have the Queens out for SaltTheWound, meaning that he's just playing standard at the moment. Nothing too exciting out of either player. We do have a robotics facility coming up for PandaTank, which could be interesting. We might see some immortals or drop play coming out. That'll be pretty cool. But this is a sort of a later expansion for let's get that out of the way. This is sort of a later expansion for Protoss, especially against Zerg. Sometimes you do go for the Forge Fast expand or the Gateway expand on this map, which is pretty interesting. But we do have the Mothership Core getting into a little bit of combat over here with that little Zerg. But this seems to be quite an interesting way of playing from PandaTank. This is it's sort of unconventional as far as what I've seen before, but this is pretty good. I think his wall of over here is quite decent, albeit a little bit late, but that does mean that he will be able to keep up with the Zerg in some way. We do have a War Prism coming up, so my prediction was correct. Would you believe it, guys? A Silver League caster managing to just guess that there's going to be some drop play, which is pretty interesting. Quite a couple of gateways up. We do have 3 gateways up for PandaTank at the moment. But what exactly is the Zerg player doing? He has his Roach Warren up and some Zerglings with the Zergling speed, which is pretty standard, having Zerglings with Zergling speed. I don't think anyone ever plays without Zergling speed as a Zerg. unless they're sort of rushing to some specific kind of tech, but very rarely does that happen. A couple of Zerglings moving out of here, going to get spotted by that Mothership Core, so he's going to see everything that chasing him away from that point. But we do have some interesting little zealot movement over here. I'm not sure if SaltTheWound does know about this. He does manage to spot the... Oh, whoa, I don't know what happened there. My voice got stuck a little bit. But PandaTank is moving in with this. It does look like SaltTheWound did notice it, but will he be able to do anything about this? He has moved his roaches up over here, and he's got his queens in that position so that he is able to do something about these zealots moving in, but he hasn't done anything, and this is going to be doing so much damage over here. He's got some movement up in the front over here to try and distract them, but with these roaches over here, they will easily clean up those zealots, forcing PandaTank to pick them up and move out of there. The queen is just in time to ensure that there are no continued drops over here, but the Mothership Core is in a little bit of trouble. I don't know if PandaTank is going to lose this. He is definitely going to lose this because he's not going to move it out in time. He's doing quite a lot of damage to that queen. I didn't realize that they quite do that much damage to Mothership Cores, but apparently if you leave it there, you are going to lose it. Use it or lose it is what I say, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The queen over here, it seems like PandaTank's control is slacking a little bit at the moment just because of what exactly is happening, but his macro is perfect at this point. He's just got so much happening up in his base, and I guess it's to serve distraction really, is what he's busy doing at the moment. He's forcing his opponent to stay inside his base, and that's exactly what you want a Zerg to do, is to hang back, because if a Zerg gets a lot of momentum, that's really, really bad for you. But what a Protoss really needs is to chill inside his base and build as many units as possible, because Protoss, a full-on Protoss army versus a full-on Zerg army, oh man, it's just too dangerous. We do have a lot of gateways being added right now for PandaTank, which is going to be quite interesting. Ooh, look at that War Prism in a little bit of trouble again, but he does have a lot of zealots on the ground as well. So is he going to be able to move in here and do any sort of damage? He is managing to cause a lot of trouble for SaltTheWound, and this is exactly what you want, to keep him on the back foot, make sure that he's not taking up too much, because he hasn't changed any tech. He is building the lair tech at the moment, which could mean a number of things, but I'm thinking that it might mean mutilisks. That's always a thing. Man, this War Prism is just surviving everywhere where it goes. But this army for SaltTheWound is starting to look a little bit menacing, but it is not menacing at all when you compare that to 4 Immortals, and 4 Immortals with a couple of these sentries. And sentries are just great because, I mean, force fields plus Immortals are just crazy. They're way, I wouldn't say overpowered, because that's a thing. But listen, man, I want to go back to like comparing things like they were in World of Warcraft, where everything was Ember. It was just like you could not be Ember in World of Warcraft. If you were good, you were Ember. But there we go. We do have some additional units being warped in on the front lines from this War Prism. This War Prism was a really, really good investment from PandaTank, I think. But I don't know if SaltTheWound is going to be able to hold this off. He has so few units at this moment. Let's actually have a look at the units tab. We can see that there are 29 roaches plus 11 Zerglings. I don't know if that's nearly enough to hold off this massive push from PandaTank. He's just going to waltz in here and just completely decimate. Even with these spine crawlers are actually really good, which is exactly what I think SaltTheWound does need at this point, because he's so desperate. But he's in a lot of trouble now because these 5 Immortals, is that 5? I'm counting them correctly. There are 5 of them with a lot of zealots, so there's a lot of beef to this army as well to defend those Immortals, and warping in even more units. PandaTank right now, this is going to be a ridiculous amount of damage from PandaTank. Is SaltTheWound going to be able to hold this off? This is a lot of roaches actually. I haven't been keeping count of the roaches, but the roaches are getting enormous. This is a perfect surround actually. This is exactly what it needs, but the force fields are incredible. With the time warp up in the front over here, he's not going to be able to do any sort of damage to PandaTank. PandaTank is just moving, waltzing into the space with those force fields. He still has a lot more energy left, so he could drop even more force fields if he really wanted to. Is he going to be able to? Oh man, and the surround from SaltTheWound again, perfect. But the force fields are great as well, with a couple of holes actually. But I think he will be able to hold this off. He is in a lot of trouble right now, but the force fields have managed to save him again. PandaTank just holding off. Doing so well in this engagement, man. This has done really, really good for him. These roaches moving in again, and the sentries are starting to run out of energy, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a favorable engagement for PandaTank. If he continues to push, I think what he really needs to do is pull back a little and just regroup, and that's exactly what he's busy doing by building units from that from that war prism. So I think he's going to be in a good position right now. If he could move in over here, it looks like he will be ready to, with a lot of damage coming in from SaltTheWound, but the force fields are going to be perfect, holding off the army, keeping them away from the Immortals. These Immortals are just going to destroy the roaches with even more force fields. Oh man, this is so close. This is really, 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 really intense, because if you look at the supplies for both players, it looks like SaltTheWound is very much in lead, but he's losing units where PandaTank is not losing that many. He's lost quite a couple of Zealots. But the Zealots, as I said before, were just the beef of his army. They were to hold him off, to protect the Immortals. The Immortals can turn around right now and do so much damage to those roaches. Those roaches just overextending a little bit too much right now. And they will find themselves in a world of hurt if they continue to push. It looks like SaltTheWound needs to change his strategy up a little. He's building a Hydralisk then. I don't know if Hydralisks are exactly what he needs right now, because he needs to destroy those Immortals. Those Immortals are his biggest problem at this point, and there's not very much anti-air, so I think SaltTheWound could do a lot of damage if he managed to build a Spire, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time, because PandaTank looks quite hungry, and he is moving in here with quite a little bit of ferocity. A lot of spine crawlers actually coming up right now for SaltTheWound, but I don't know if they'll finish in time. PandaTank, like I said before, is looking quite hungry, and it looks like he wants to move right now, so he's going to be catching this timing perfectly for those spine crawlers. Is he going to be able to destroy them? Because does he know that there are a lot more? Yes, he does. He has seen them now, and now he knows that he can do a lot of damage to this. Is he going to push in here? And it looks like SaltTheWound is a little bit skittish to move in against that army again, because of the force fields that are just ridiculous. They have a lot of energy right now, able to hold off the entire army, with the Zealots trying to move in from the side over here, trying to re-establish the flanking position. SaltTheWound, with his awesome surrounds up until now, has been great. But if PandaTank is able to move these Zealots in from the side, that's going to be perfect for him. These force fields are just ridiculous, splitting up the army so much and managing to cause so much damage to them. With a little bit of a wall in over here, he's managing to keep the Queens off of that army, and these Immortals are not going down. This is going to cost SaltTheWound the game if he is not able to kill those Immortals, and it looks like they will destroy the entire army for SaltTheWound. For SaltTheWound, he's going to try and push into here again. This is such an intense game with so many things happening. So much action, actually, is the right way to put it. But exactly how long is SaltTheWound going to be able to hold this off? I don't think that he's going to be able to defend this expansion anymore. It looks like he's lost most of everything that was inside there. These Hydralisks, as I said, I think were a poor choice, because they are not exactly what this army needs right now. They are light units, which means that these Immortals don't get additional damage on them. But oh man, I am completely pooped after that. That was such an intense game, and so much good control from PandaTank. I think that this really shows that PandaTank is really, really amazing at StarCraft when he is able to play at his full capacity, and that means without lag and on these offline tournaments, which is really, really great for him. But I do want to say again, guys, tomorrow afternoon, Friday the 19th of July in 2013, PandaTank is going to be playing his games, so please tune in to whichever stream he is going to be playing on. If you aren't just interested in PandaTank playing, there's a whole variety of amazing players going to be. There's going to be Grubby, White Ross, Stardust, Lucifron and Vortex, the two brothers from Spain, so they're going to be playing on the home turf as well. There's going to be Stefano, Hyun, Jaedong. There's going to be so many amazing players. Please watch those games, guys. It's going to be really, really intense. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again.